you. Just got a few questions for you. I got a chance to check out your website, and it looks like you're doing some amazing things. Just a little kindred spirit with you because in my previous career, I was at LCSW. So I can totally relate to everything that you've been doing with counseling. So tell us a little bit about what made you choose counseling and therapy as a career.
Well, I thought about my life kind of growing up, and I always knew that I wanted to be in a profession where I was helping people. I just didn't know exactly what that would look like. So I always said I was going to be a doctor, going to be a cardiologist, and once I kind of got off to school, that path changed a little bit. I found psychology, or should I say psychology found me, and I fell in love with the thought, or the concept of our thoughts and our mind and how powerful it is and how it really does, control our lives, basically. Our thoughts have power, and what we think controls how we feel, and how we feel controls how we behave, and then that impacts the rest of our lives. And so looking at the different people and situations and scenarios, I said to myself, this is what I want to do. And it just kind of, again, it found me, but it was something that I was already doing in my circles with my girlfriends. I was already in college, so with my residents. Everyone was always coming and asking for my opinion and my advice. So I was doing that piece, but the connection as far as a professional counselor came when psychology and sociology kind of found me.
That's usually the way that works. In people in that profession, you find yourself just kind of always being that go-to for everybody.
Yeah,
what fulfills you most about the kind of work you do?
I have a passion for people. I have a passion for people who are in need. I think that we all go through things in different stages and areas of our lives. And so no one person is different from the other in regards to that. But sometimes we need some assistance. And so my passion is helping people who need assistance, but really truly may not have access to quality assistance. You can't go and ask everybody and anybody for advice. Whatever areas, you're looking to improve on. And so I want to be able to be a good source of information and assistance to people, no matter what their economic status is, no matter what their race or culture is. I believe that everybody should have access to really good behavioral health care. I know we're talking about mental health and therapy, but I believe in your mind, body, and spirit, everything working together. And so that drives me when I get emails or messages about how people are seeing progress in their lives and things are transforming. It makes me feel good. I feel like I'm doing what I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I feel like I'm walking in my calling when other people see the transformation in themselves and they begin to recognize it.
That's such a huge thing to not only find your calling, but have the courage to be able to walk in it. I think so many times a lot of us know what we're good at and know those things that we're passionate about, but we're kind of scared to go for it. Maybe because we haven't had the encouragement, or maybe because we don't know that we have the freedom to be able to do that. So that's so encouraging to know that you knew what your passion was and that you walked in it.
Now, it hasn't always been easy now.
No, and it's not. Yeah. It's definitely not. That's such a big walk.
It is. And, Joyce Meyer says, you have to do it afraid. And that's something, somewhere in the middle of this process of me becoming and being what you see was truly a faith walk. I've always known, once I've, found psychology found me, that I would have my own practice, I would use it, and I would do X, Y, and Z. Just didn't necessarily know how that was going to come about. And so I think I took the longer way to get there, but I'm here, and I think that everything happens when it's supposed to. But you're right. Being able to walk in that really is, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And staying in it, because times can get really tough, and you have to dig deep and keep pushing. But I believe in being a product of the product. So anything that you see me post about on my website or social media, I am testing the waters myself, or have been tested in that area myself.
That's huge, because a lot of people kind of think, when you're motivational, things like that, they kind of think, oh, she's just kind of preaching, or she doesn't really know what that's like. She doesn't really know what it's like to have gone through. That was a huge thing with a lot of, as you know, but with a lot of clients that I dealt with, they wanted to know, if you're coming out to do family counseling with me, do you have kids? They want to know those things to know if you can relate, or whether you're just kind of coming out there spouting off things from a book.
Because it sounds good, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, because, you are a counselor, you are a therapist, but you're also a female entrepreneur. Do you have any, or did you have any mentors that helped you along the way on your journey?
Yes, definitely. Kamika Scott, who is the CEO and founder of the Boss Network, which is one of the biggest minority-based entrepreneurial networking sites, basically, for women, has kind of been, she was my mentor from a distance, and then I reached out, and we kind of connected, and she's given me some really good advice along the way. But she's one of my main mentors. And also there is an agency here in the Atlanta area that I used to work for. Once I finished my master's and I was doing some community-based work, and I just saw how the owner, Dr. Emma Cook, basically created this company that was based on integrity and high morals and ethics and values from the ground up, and continues to do so to this day. And so when I look at my practice, that's the example that I try to model my business after. So I have a business model mentor slash mentoring agency that I look at, and then I have the actual woman, the female entrepreneur herself, who, similar to me, came from an educational background and then launched her platform. Although I always knew I was going to be a counselor, like I just said, I took the long way around. So I dabbled in education for a little bit while I went back to school. So those two people have been very influential. They may not really know how much. Again, I considered myself their mentee from afar until I reached out to Kamika, but very influential in my process.
So tell us a little bit, you're pretty busy. You have the radio show and you also have the TV show. Tell us first a little about your radio show.
Okay. Initially when I started with the radio show, it was called The Healing Place, and that's actually the name of my nonprofit organization that's community-based focused. We go out beyond the walls of the actual office and do workshops, therapy, in the homes, in the schools. And so it was a way to provide informative and fun information about mental health and daily living. I started that 3 years ago. Now it's transformed into the Nikhol B. Jackson Show. Of course, as you go as an entrepreneur, I've kind of changed the branding aspect, but the message is still the same. I use both radio and TV as a platform to raise awareness about mental health. In our African American community and a lot of minority communities, mental health is still taboo. There's still a stigma. So I utilize these mediums as a way to kind of make the conversation a little lighthearted and to show the world that your mental health impacts your life. There is no health without mental health. Dealing with your finances is stressful. That creates a mindset. Dealing with your spouse can be stressful. That creates a mindset. Dealing with your children can be stressful or even peaceful. So every aspect of our life has a component of daily living and health. physical, emotional, mental, and spiritually. And that's what we try to do with the Nicole B. Jackson brand in regards to the radio and the television show.
Hello?
And again, that is to be a fun and informative space where we talk about mental health and daily living.
Okay, that was awesome. I believe she possibly sounds like she accidentally got unhooked. But we can go ahead and keep going. She might come back on. There she is.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, ladies, I'm so sorry about that.
that happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I never really used my house phone, and all of a sudden, it started saying it was searching for a signal, and I was like, what? It was good.
The devil's working, girls.
Well, I'm so glad that you happen to be on the phone, too, so.
Oh, yes, I was here.
I use this conference call thing, so I know when I heard the chime, the disconnect, I knew what happened. So that's why I continue just to end that part. So you needed that part of the tape.
Right.
From there to the end, that part was good.
You got that right.
I'll tell you the funny thing. I was thinking, I said, well, I'm not going to use my cell phone because people always contact me on my cell phone, so I don't want it clicking and stuff during the interview, so I'm just going to use the house phone because I never use the house phone. Go figure. That's okay.
Okay, we back on track. That's what matters.
All right, we're back on track. Okay, so did you finish? You were talking about the radio show and the TV show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press for us to record and then just kind of backtrack a little and give a little summary on that just in case something got cut off there. So we'll start there with that question. So hold on. The recording has started. All right. So we have the interview recording, and I'm almost afraid that some of the other stuff didn't record. We may go back through.
Actually, I have a third device that's actually recording as well, so we actually can keep moving forward if you want to.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Let's keep it going.
Yes.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your radio show. You have two mediums. You have the radio show and also your TV show. So you're pretty busy. Tell us about how you're using those mediums in your work.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good question. I started in radio, Blog Talk Radio, which is internet-based, about 3 years ago. And at that time, the name of my show was called The Healing Place, which is actually my nonprofit organization that's community-based. So what we do with that is to go out to the community, the schools, and we advocate for mental health via workshops, therapy, family, skill classes, parenting, just the gamut. And so, again, the platform for The Healing Place was to raise awareness, getting it out there to those who may not otherwise get it. And so that's where the radio came from, again, providing another platform or medium to be able to talk about mental health. In our community, and a lot of minority communities in general, there is still a lot of stigma, and mental health is still taboo. So you don't hear much about it until something traumatic happens. So now, the name of my radio and television show is the Nicole B. Jackson Show. And that's, changed, of course, that's because of business and just branding. But the message is still the same in both the radio and television. And the platform is still the same. We use both of those to continue to raise awareness, not only about mental health, but just about daily living. Everything that we go through in life has some type of health component and can go back to mental health. If your finances are a mess, you're going to be stressed out. There's a mental health component. If your relationship is all over the place, you're going to be stressed out and frustrated. There's a mental health component. If you're dealing with your children and family, there's a mental health component. There is no health without mental health. And so, again, on these shows, the Nicole B. Jackson radio and television show, with our mission to be a place of fun and informative information for daily living. And so that's what we do. We try to reach the masses beyond the four walls of an actual counseling agency or / office.
And that's so important because I think a lot of people are a little afraid to step in to an office, but, you know, when you're bringing it to them and it's fun, it's informative, and just kind of educating and letting them know the importance of mental health and how it just drives your everyday, I think that makes so much more of a difference.
Yes, definitely. And we have to make it relatable. You know, like I just listed those few things: your money, your kids, your work, your family. Those are things that we all experience, and those are situations that can sometimes create levels of depression and anxiety. And so I think when we look at it from a standpoint that it's something we all go through, it kind of helps to take some of that stigma away over time. It's still a work in progress, you know. But I think that, you know, providing those two platforms is a way to reach those people who might need it, who just don't know how to go about getting the help, and just maybe not, you know, like you said, just really not comfortable with going into someone's office. So this is an option, providing options.
So you and your husband launched Jackson & Jackson Consulting. Tell us a little bit, just because we're talking about mental health and just that balance, tell us how you find that work-life balance for yourself.
It's interesting that you say that. I'm actually speaking at a conference in August about that, work-life balance. Everybody's work-life balance is different. Society would have you believe that one of two things. As a woman, you can't have it all because you can't do it all, or that everything has to be 50-50. I believe that if you are working, you have a family, you have a spouse, you have all these different dynamics, friendships, there is no way on God's green earth that you can do everything 100% balanced, where everything gets the same amount. So balance will look different for everybody. And what works for you and your family, your relationship, may not work for somebody else. So it's finding the proper balance that leaves everyone in your circle feeling as fulfilled and happy as can be. And sometimes that balance may shift. You know, I do have a lot of things going on, and my husband and I, we do work a lot together. We have Jackson & Jackson. But he's also my manager. So there are times where business takes up, you know, maybe about 60% of that balance. And everything else has to get 40, and I have to split that 40% between the children, the home, and him. But, you know, they understand, meaning my children and my husband, they understand that right now business has got to be this percent because we've got some things that we're trying to do and places we're trying to grow. Now, that doesn't mean that I stay and I'll continue to operate in that 60% all the time because that's not fair. But that just means that for that moment, we all understand that that's what we got to do. And then we shift. And when it's time to shift, my children and my husband may now get 70% or 80%, and it's time for me to pause on the work stuff for a little bit. And then that works. So it's finding what works for you and your family and being able to communicate the expectations within that so that everyone feels the best that they can feel with what's going on. That's my thought.
No, it's huge. I think it's something that just women, you know, really being out in the workforce, and with the way the workforce looks now, everybody is, you know, those 9 to 5 are becoming obsolete. And so you're no longer clocking in and clocking out. You know, you're able to work from home where, you know, if you don't watch it, you've been on the computer for 11 hours in the day. So that's a really interesting way to look at that and just kind of put that out there for women to look at how they can make that fit in their own lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You have to be willing to make certain sacrifices at different stages of the process.
So give us your social media, your website, and definitely tell us how we can tune in to watch your the Nicole B. Jackson TV show.
Great. So you can find me if you are looking for any information about all of these things. You can go to my website, which is NicoleBJackson.com. And that Nicole is different than your traditional Nicole. It's Nikhol, B as in boy, Jackson.com. And when you are there, you can sign up to become a member of my newsletter. And not a member, but a subscriber of my newsletter. And you will get monthly updates. I'm not one of those people, I promise you, that sends you a newsletter every day or every week. Trust me, you'll get a monthly newsletter. Sometimes you may get two in a month, but very rarely, where you just kind of get an inspirational message and know more about what's going on. I do a Wednesday midweek motivational call every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. And this call is basically where we help you get over the hump. Because when you're looking for Fridays, sometimes no one is hump day just isn't enough. That's every Wednesday. You can find out more information about that on my website as well. The Nicole B. Jackson radio show airs every Tuesday night on Blog Talk Radio at 8:30, from 8:30 to 9:30. And the information is there as well. You can call in to listen, or you can listen on the internet. And then the television show, Nicole B. Jackson TV show, comes on Comcast, Channel 24, which is People TV if you're in the Atlanta City area, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. If you are outside of the city of Atlanta or in any other state, you can watch via the internet at www.peopletv.org and watch the live stream. And ladies, I'm so excited. And the book will be released next week, if all is well. And it's, talking a little bit more in detail about some of the things that we've talked about today on this interview, but it's helping people transform their lives. It's called Transforming Your Lives. 7 Steps to the Life That You Dream of, Desire, and Deserve. And you can actually pre-order your copy of that book on my website, NicoleBJackson.com as well.
Well, thank you so much. We enjoyed the interview. You have so many positive things going on that
yes.
I think are so helpful, not just to women, but just in general for, mental health in our community. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Nicole.
I appreciate it. If there's anything else I can ever do, ladies, let me know. I'd love to connect and continue to network, so I appreciate this opportunity.